everyone, welcome back. We have another dermatologist skincare review video. I have Dr. Chiu. She is a board certified dermatologist with her own practice in Redondo Beach, California. It's called Derm Institute.
Yep.
And she's doing some really good stuff out there. If you're in the area, definitely check her out. If you guys aren't familiar with what we're doing, these are like my skincare reaction videos, but I think it's a little bit different when it's not a celebrity or an influencer taking us through their skincare routine, because I feel like when you guys are sending your videos, you also have underlying skin issues that you also want advice on, and that's where I think a professional needs to come in, because I can't diagnose you, I can't look at your skin and tell you exactly what's going on. I would feel so much better if you had a board certified dermatologist like Dr. Chiu here. So that is what we're doing with this series. Great. And we're gonna look today at Sanaa. She's dealing with hyperpigmentation as one of her main concerns. She's only 21, which I consider to be young when it comes to skincare and skin issues, right?
But it's great she's starting early because she'll form good habits, especially with something like pigment, which is sometimes a lifelong battle for people.
Yeah,
you know?
And it only gets worse because it's like it's been forming under the skin.
Yeah,
coming up to the top. Yeah, I know. Anyway, so let's see. We want to take a look?
Yeah.
Ready to dive in?
Excited.
All right.
Hi, my name is Sanaa and this is my skincare routine. My biggest concerns for my skin are my dark marks and pigmentation, as well as my acne, which you can see I already have a COSRX pimple patch on, and texture. I have a lot of uneven texture, bumps, and dryness as well. So I've been working really hard to combat all those things and to make my skin clear and healthy and glowy. So I'd love your help, Susan. Thank you.
I actually think she's got beautiful skin.
I do too. I think she has gorgeous skin. I understand she seems very aware.
Yeah.
So some of her issues are starting and they're very, very early.
Yeah.
So it's great that she's jumping into the skincare game. But I think she has beautiful, I call it, she already won the genetic lottery. So that part of it is good. Let's see what we can do to make it even more luminescent. I think she's kind of glowy already though.
She is kind of glowy. I mean, it could be lighting and stuff like that. She says that she has, she had that COSRX pimple patch and stuff. But these are all like, this is just human, right? Like it's she's just dealing with a couple of things. Even like the hyperpigmentation I didn't think was bad.
Yeah. But it is in more ethnic skin types that starting that sort of peripheral pigmentation, that the skin starts being a little uneven, starts early. And you're right, it only progresses with age. So I think it's great to actually intervene early because you definitely can't turn back a clock after a certain amount of time. So.
And I'm curious to see like what she's using to exfoliate, if she says that she's got texture issues.
Yeah, some pore stuff.
Yeah.
Because people can be overly harsh. Let's see if she's one of them.
Yeah, let's see.
First things first, I use the Green Clean Makeup Cleansing Balm from Pharmacy. I bought this after getting a sample of it and I really enjoy it, but I haven't tried the full version yet, so it's brand new. Next, I use the Matcha Hemp Hydrating Cleanser from Crave Beauty.
It looks like she's gonna like tear through her skincare routine. This seems to me to be the nighttime routine because there's a double cleanse in here. And if she's watching our videos, I'm a double cleanse at night person, so I'm assuming that that's what she's doing as well. So I personally love that Pharmacy Green Clean Cleansing Balm. It's a really nice emulsifying, I mean, it has a lot of oils in it, so somebody with really acneic skin couldn't probably use it. But for someone like her, I think that this is actually a really great cleansing balm.
So I think that's a nice blend where it's not overstripping, but still is a little bit exfoliating. It's a nice blend for a double cleanse.
Yeah, and it's the kind of cleansing balm that I feel like it's not really heavy on your skin, and it rinses off nicely.
Yet the word balm is almost a little misleading, right? The way it feels.
Yeah, so it's a really nice one. I tend to like this one from Pharmacy. It does have caprylic acid as one of the second ingredients in it, which we all know is like a coconut derivative, and people know that I freak out about that, but I actually don't mind it in this kind of form.
And I think it's more of a vehicle to increase moisturization or not strip the skin completely when you cleanse it. So I agree, because she's rinsing it off. I think it's fine here.
Yeah, definitely. And also I just think like the way it's formulated in it and stuff. It's not just a pure coconut oil.
Yeah, it's not like that solid white stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And then that Crave Beauty Matcha Hemp Hydrating Cleanser. What do you think about that one?
Well, I'm a big green tea person. Like, I think it's been shown in numerous studies to be an incredible antioxidant and actually reverses some degree of photo damage. So if pigment is one of your concerns, I think having that ingredient as one of the top ingredients here is a good thing. So I actually like this product for her as a second cleanser. And it's perfect for kind of a combo, like it's not too heavy and it's not super drying. It kind of, you know, I think that this is a really nice regimen for a cleanser for her.
I think so too. I like both of the cleansers that you've chosen. They're really good ones. I like what she's got going on so far.
I do too.
Yeah.
And it's smart skincare, not overstripping and not trying to hydrate too much, just getting makeup off and getting the skin clean to prep for the next steps. Let's see what's coming up.
And then next, for my toner, I use the Cuddly Vino Pure lotion with salicylic acid. I'm trying this one after finishing the Sun & Park Beauty Water. So I don't know which one I like more, but I got the Cuddly one while visiting my friend in France, so it was cheap, so I thought I'd try it.
That toner, specifically, I don't know, what do you think? It's got salicylic acid as one of the main ingredients.
And alcohol.
And alcohol. Yeah, actually, it's
mostly alcohol.
It's mostly alcohol.
I love Cuddly products, but I think this particular one is for a fairly oily skin person, which I don't see her as.
Yeah.
She might have patches of oily areas. It sounds like maybe forehead, T-zone, nose kind of stuff, but it's a little bit too stripping, I think, for every day.
Do you think that would almost be exasperating that? Like it would create more oiliness in those areas?
Yeah, absolutely. So what happens when you overstrip your skin is essentially you deprive your skin of all natural oils. And the oil glands are like, what's going on? Let me make more oil. So you actually create a little bit of an evil cycle. In this case, I think if you're like a 16-year-old teenager with that super oily skin, this could work. But daily, for someone who's more combo skin like her, I probably wouldn't use it daily.
Yeah, there are other things I want to point out in this product. You guys know how I feel about like the essential oils and those kinds of ingredients. Yeah. They can be, you know, and again, I always point this out. I am a hypocrite when it comes to like fragrance and stuff. I will definitely turn a blind eye sometimes because I do like the experience of a nicely scented product. Not overly scented, but sometimes I do just kind of go with it and just be very aware. But this one has things like peppermint oil, which can make you feel like it's doing a lot for your skin.
It's that astringent effect, right?
Yeah.
But it can be irritating. So that's distinguished here. So there's a lot of essential oils that smell good here. So my guess is this is a luxurious, amazing smelling product. There's not the word fragrance in the ingredients, but it's still fragrances. So this is what I say to my patients, is that just because it's natural doesn't mean it's not irritating. Poison ivy, perfect example. So a lot of these plant extracts make me a little bit nervous. I think that when you're exposed to it over and over and over again, you can develop a little bit of an irritation depending on your skin type. I mean, some people are tolerant to it, but I just think, you know, on top of alcohol, on top of salicylic acid, this product's a little bit on the irritating side for her.
Yeah, I agree completely.
Next, I use the Cuddly Vino Perfect Essence. I am almost completely out of this one, as you can see. So the next one I have is the Neogen Micro Ferment Essence. So hopefully I like that.
I really like an essence. It's on my list of products you don't necessarily need.
Agreed, yeah.
But I do think that when you've got like, especially if you've got dry skin and stuff, it feels nice.
It's soothing.
Yeah, it's like
and
a
I
nice
believe in
humectant.
the pH balancing aspect of it, which is sort of, if you have, she doesn't because she has really gentle cleansers, but some people use like a glycolic acid based cleanser, and you want to neutralize that before you put on additional products, otherwise you might negate them. So I think that that's a nice step. I use an essence, I think, but I agree it's more of a luxury item sort of. So she's gonna get a mild exfoliating effect from this one because of the glycolic.
Yeah, and that's actually probably why she likes it, because I want to actually try this one.
Yeah, because it's brightening, right? She's gonna get a glow and her makeup will go on smooth.
I think this is a nice essence. It's actually doing more than the typical essence that's just like a hyaluronic acid or something.
Agreed.
But I will point out again, there's like the bitter orange is in this. I'd be careful with that. You know, there's the grapefruit water. I mean, these things could end up being totally fine. I tend to find with my skin, it's totally fine, but I always just keep it at the back of my mind that it could eventually turn into like it could sensitize your skin or something.
Over time, I think it's a little common myth that people think, well, I've been using this product forever, I can't be allergic to it. But it's actually with repeated exposures that people become allergic. So I think it's just, my concern is over time. And actually, bitter orange can make people a little sun sensitive. So I have I think it's fine for her for now, but just keeping it in mind if she starts sensing things are changing, it might be something she looks at.
That's what I look at. See, like, and you know, I use my husband as personal experience from this. He had this whole skincare regimen back when I met him. A very like typical products, very typical brands, and his skin was absolutely perfect. He even has
if you're married to Susan, you have to have a skincare regimen as a man, apparently. I love it. Okay,
he had one before I even married him. So,
oh wow, that was the prerequisite.
Yeah, exactly. It was like he takes care of his skin.
I love it.
But over time, like over the last few years, he's developed these patches of, you know, he gets sometimes like these bad allergic reactions and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
and it took forever for me to explain to him, just because you've been using these products forever doesn't mean that they're not doing it now to your skin.
Absolutely. So two things can change. One is the chronic exposure we talked about. And actually, these companies reformulate their products all the time. You don't know, packaging looks the same, ingredient list is slightly different, they're getting it from a different like source. So you never know. And I agree that you have to almost eliminate at that point to figure out which one it is.
Yeah, and that's why I say to people, like, even though I'm a hypocrite when it comes to like the fragrance, essential oils, that kind of stuff.
I like them too.
Yeah, it's like I understand why people like it, because I like it. I'm a human being, but I always just keep in mind that if I start to feel like my skin's getting red, I'm getting some kind of a weird patch, I start to look at, well, what are the products that I have in my current routine that have these types of ingredients in it?
Exactly. So you would probably notice things like excessive dryness, red patches, a little bit of itching, and just chronic irritation, some scaling even. So those are the things that you look for what we call irritant contact dermatitis, which can occur from ingredients like this over time. But if she's fine, I think it's okay for now.
But she was saying she's gonna, when she's done with it, she's gonna switch to the Neogen.
I also think this particular essence that she's about to switch to is really going after the trend of having like good bacteria on your skin. Like it looks like it's kind of trying to, they talk about normal skin flora, and that keeps the skin barrier more healthy and intact. You almost have to have a good balance. You don't want to strip it all away. You don't want to have bad bacteria, but you want to have normal flora. So sort of like your gut, like the same thing that's happening with skin health. And I feel like that really addresses that trend. So
because those first ingredients are those bacteria.
Yeah, exactly, and there's a little lactobacillus in it. I think this one actually does what an essence is supposed to do. This step is not a treatment step, it's a prepping step. So if you're truly just looking for a prepping step, I would stick with the Neogen. But let us know, I'd love to hear.
I'd love to know too, because I think I personally would like the Neogen better.
In the morning, I use the Kiehl's Daily Revival Concentrate.
Oh wait, okay, so she just pointed out something. So she's just showing us the products that she uses, and she's distinguishing when it changes to morning and night. So this is just her routine, period. So it sounds like all of those products were in the morning and nighttime routine. Okay,
so that toner with the sal acid and the alcohol is crazy to use twice a day.
Yeah.
That's really, really drying her out. For her. And especially because I think at the beginning of the video, if I'm not wrong, she said she had a few dry patches. My guess is because she's stripping those. So you don't need that. You just don't.
And at night, I use the Midnight Recovery Concentrate. And then I follow those up morning and night with the alpha arbutin and the niacinamide and zinc from The Ordinary.
So those two Kiehl's concentrates, you know what, before I even say anything, I'd like to hear your opinion.
There are a lot of plant oils, essentially. And my guess is, by listening to her description, I'm guessing, so please correct me if I'm wrong, she likes that dewy, glowy thing that the oils are giving her. There aren't any extreme actives here that are really going to contribute to her long-term skin health.
Yeah.
But I think there's something luxurious or glowy about that for her.
Yeah.
I think this is an optional step. I'm not ultra against it. I think the problem is if she is having some breakouts, because you saw she was using that CosRX pad, this may be exacerbating her breakouts.
Yeah.
Too many plant oils.
Yeah. So you guys know I am not like the biggest fan of face oils unless I'm using it like to do jade roller, like give my skin that slip, or every once in a while, like if I'm getting on an airplane, maybe I'll top
it's a topper,
all of my skincare routine with an oil to really pack it on.
When it's super dehydrated,
something like that. But I feel like she's using those almost as treatment serums, and it's really just a lot of oil. My viewers know it. They know it. I did a whole video on how I'm like,
oh really?
Face oil, just like
we really are separated at birth. I'm not a huge fan either. I just think, when did it become cool to load all these oils on your face if you're not, they're not even great moisturizers. They're just oils.
Thank you.
So I think this is a skippable step, especially for somebody who is having acne breakouts and pore size issues. This is going to contribute to it.
Yeah, and it's also, if she's moving into like those 2 products that she moves into from The Ordinary, they're based in humectants. I want to say, I'm going to look at those ingredients. So they're not even going to penetrate through those oils. And I've heard people have argued with me when I say like ingredients like this aren't going to penetrate through these oils. They're like, no, it should be able to penetrate. But
no, water and oil don't mix.
So she says that she goes into the alpha arbutin, that's 2%, and then the HA spears. You know, very minimal ingredients actually. So it's very straightforward. I mean, that's what people really like about The Ordinary.
Yeah.
I did a review about The Ordinary, and I said that I think that you have to be very knowledgeable in skincare and mixing, because you're essentially formulating your own skincare products by going with like you're going almost straightforward like alpha arbutin. And she's going with a niacinamide, which I love a good niacinamide. I think it's good for almost everybody's skin.
Texture improver, yeah.
Yes, but when you start getting into like a full routine of The Ordinary, I actually think there is a lot of trial and error, potentially hurting your skin a little bit and then like switching something. So, but people thought that was like an extreme thing for me to say, because some people really love it, and also because it's such a good price point. They're kind of like, why can't I test all these things out?
Totally, it's stackable and customizable, which I think appeals to a lot of people at a reasonable price point. I think the alpha arbutin is a great idea for her because it's a skin brightening, evening product without the chronic exposure to something more irritating like a hydroquinone or something. So it's a non-irritating brightening product. And she's getting a little bit of lactic acid and hyaluronic acid, which helps with both moisture and a little bit of exfoliation. I think that's a great product for her.
Yeah.
And like you said, the niacinamide is fine. I think she's getting minimal amounts of it through those face oils.
Right. Yeah, so I think we're both in agreement. The Kiehl's oils have to go.
Yeah, we're gonna minimize your regimen, clean it up a little.
Yeah, all right, let's go into our next part.
I read that both of these help hyperpigmentation, pores, texture, stuff like that. So hopefully those help out with my concerns that I have. Then I use the Triple C Lightning Liquid. Sometimes I only use it in the morning, depending on if I'm using AHAs or BHAs in my nighttime routine. But if I don't use any AHAs or BHAs, then I'm using the Triple C Lightning Liquid both morning and night.
So I think like if you look up The Ordinary's niacinamide product, it tells you not to use it next to a vitamin C because it can affect the integrity of vitamin C.
So, but you're okay. So people have actually brought this up in my videos when I say to use vitamin C, and then I'll say like, throw in this has niacinamide and I use this next and stuff, and they'll say that on The Ordinary it says not to use their niacinamide.
I think it's their formulation, because I agree with you that chemically I don't know personally of any issue with that interaction.
Yeah.
It must be their formulation because they specifically say it on their website.
They do, because I've double checked now that people have pointed that out, but I've never seen or heard of this anywhere else.
Agreed. I do it all the time.
Yeah. Same, I do too. I almost find niacinamide to be an ingredient that mixes well, that plays well with a lot.
Everybody, and all skin types. That's why it's such an easy one to add to your skincare regimen.
Yeah.
But if they say that, I don't know if I would use the Triple C right after it.
Right, because they specifically say it.
Yeah.
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 So that's just something to know.
Just look on their site. You might see
on
it.
The Ordinary, they do say not to use their niacinamide with the vitamin C.
But
we do like vitamin C.
I was about to say that. But you need a vitamin C, so don't give it up. Let's figure out how to integrate it away from that one, The Ordinary niacinamide. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
I think she absolutely needs a vitamin C to maintain the brightness, pigment, and some of the anti-aging things that you get from it. She absolutely needs it.
So maybe we could move the niacinamide just to the nighttime and tell her not to do the vitamin C and the niacinamide at night.
Yes, I think that would work really well for her actually.
And then maybe don't buy the niacinamide from The Ordinary because they make it so questionable. I don't know.
I know, it makes me concerned.
Yeah, so I wonder what's in it. Like, why can't it mix? Because it usually can mix with everything. I mean, the ascorbic acid is high up on the list.
But notice they don't specify it's L-ascorbic acid.
I actually always wonder that. So tell all of us, explain that one.
So there are chemical mirrors of certain ingredients. It's kind of like right-handed, left-handed. And there's only a subform of ascorbic acid that's active in the body and on the skin, and that's L-ascorbic acid. And to purify for that is a costly process, which is why vitamin C serums can be more expensive. In this one, I see that they don't specify, so it always makes me question, because most of them will specify if they are going out of their way to purify for L-ascorbic. So my concern is you're not getting as much vitamin C penetrating into your skin and being active for brightening and collagen production, all those good things. I'm just concerned you're not getting as much as you think you are.
Yeah, so I've actually started to point this out in some of my videos, that I wonder when people say to me, because I've been trying a lot of my viewers have been like, is there a more affordable vitamin C that you can recommend? So I've been trying a ton of vitamin Cs, and what I'm starting to wonder is when they tell me that they like this more affordable vitamin C, if they're maybe getting the positive effects of the other ingredients, the humectants, the licorice root, that kind of stuff. So they're getting like bouncier skin, and maybe it is looking a touch brighter, but it's not the vitamin C that they're actually seeing the results of, right?
So that's the issue. I think when most people favor a product, it's based on formulation and elegance and the look and feel of it, the look of the packaging, the feel of the product. They're not really obsessing about the ingredients, because the truth is, to see what vitamin C does, it's gonna be a few months. Months. So that initial, like, I like this better is probably not that indicative of how quality the product is, or how much long-term benefit you're going to get from it.
And it's not necessarily a bad thing. I point this out too. It's not a bad thing to like the benefits you're getting from the other ingredients in the formulation. You just maybe aren't getting what you're supposed to get from vitamin C, which would be, you know, a better even skin tone, probably like stronger, more resilient skin. What are some of the other things?
It's a coenzyme for collagen production, and it's also a natural anti-inflammatory. So probably, if you love the other ingredients in it, I think it's important to like the feel of the products that you use, but just know you may not be getting the full vitamin C, and it may be worth hunting around for something that specifies either L-ascorbic acid or a fat-soluble form of vitamin C, which is like a tetrahexylosorbate is a good one. So that's the only concern I have, and only because it's such a critical ingredient for her, because skin pigment is one of her primary concerns, and vitamin C is it's an antioxidant, so it fights oxidative damage against both sun, pollution, smoke, all that stuff that we encounter, and I think it's very important for her general skin pigmentation. So I just think that that's the one ingredient I want her to have a really quality version of. And I agree, good vitamin Cs are a little pricier. I actually think that's a worthy ingredient to splurge on, personally.
I do too.
See, separated at birth.
I know. I will point out though, if you are a person that just wants like a nice serum that works as a humectant, I think that CosRx one is a really nice one. It's got hyaluronic acid, it's got sodium hyaluronate,
tone, which softens the skin.
Yeah, so it's got ingredients that are gonna really feel nice on your skin, and what you might feel, especially at 21, is just some plumping to your skin, which could make your skin
dewy.
Yeah, and look like the vitamin C is working. Right?
But
you're not getting the vitamin C effect. It's not what I'm always talking about, guys. It's not the same thing.
In the morning, I use the Farsali Haldi Eyes. I use this as a brightening eye cream for under my makeup, or just in general to lighten my dark under eyes.
When people say they use an eye cream to lighten, so the first part where she's like, I just use it under my makeup, when they say I use it to brighten my under eyes, let's see what it has in it.
Caffeine, my favorite eye cream ingredient.
That's good to know that you like caffeine, because sometimes I'm like torn on if it really works or not.
So I'm gonna be totally honest. If you have under eye hollows that are causing a little bit of dark under eye circle look, kind of like raccoon eyes-ish or really tired looking, no eye cream on the market will actually cure that. So that's usually like an actual defect, or you just have deeper tear troughs. And short of something like an injectable filler, which can be life-changing, no topicals are really gonna correct that.
Right.
If you have a little bit of...
Maybe a hydroquinone, maybe if it's a little bit of pigment.
Yeah,
maybe.
So some people have true pigment, so this is how you can tell. You can lift the skin, and when you lift the skin, the hollow goes away and it looks brighter. That's probably an issue of not enough volume in the area.
Right.
If you lift the skin and stretch it and you still see pigment there, you actually have true pigment in the skin. And things like vitamin C, hydroquinone, and even caffeine can actually help that, because caffeine constricts blood vessels. Part of what we see under the eye as a shadow is because the skin is thin and you can see some of the vascular network. So I think using a little bit of caffeine there is beneficial for that. Is it gonna ever quite get her to what she really wants for brightening the under eye? Probably not completely without a procedure, but I think this is a smart under eye product or eye cream product for her to use. My guess is it's providing her a little moisturization. Yeah. And if she's doing it under her makeup during the day, not a bad idea. Yeah.
And then at night, I use the Belief Moisturizing Eye Balm. I have dry skin under my eyes, so that's why I like to use eye creams both night and day, but this one is a gel texture, so I really like it because it's not too heavy.
You know, it's funny that she says that. So I don't know if she's saying that because she's watched some of my videos, but I have said to people I don't use eye cream at night because I tend to wake up more puffy because of the water content. Yeah. And so I guess I would say a gel at night would be better in that area if you don't want bagginess.
Yeah, if you were prone to puffiness. What happens when you sleep is you're gravity dependent and all the fluid goes to your face. And the under eye is a poorly draining area for most everybody. Yeah. So it can be more prone to puffiness. So that's actually a smart recommendation. See? I might switch my night one to gel. I
like it. That's not my tip, by the way, you guys. I got that from Narita Joy. She's an esthetician. And she used to always tell me that. She used to say, switch to a gel at night if you're gonna use anything on your eye area.
I use the Belief True Cream Aqua Balm, and at night I use the Super Aqua from Misha. I'm actually completely out of this. It's completely empty, so any suggestions would be absolutely great.
Yeah. I frankly don't like either of her moisturizers.
Yeah, I don't like the moisturizers for her.
For her.
For her.
Yes. Because they're not, I think these are moisturizers for really oily skin people.
Yes, that's exactly what they are. If you have acneic, like oily skin.
And you don't. You actually have beautiful, normal skin with some patches that are, you know, a little bit oily and some areas like under the eye that can run dry. I think she needs a gentle moisturizer that has humectants in it, but these products are more feeling, and my guess is she's feeling a smoothness, but she's not getting true emulsion.
Well, she is, 100%. Yeah, she's feeling it because there's a lot of silicone, and at least in the Aqua Balm. That's her morning one, so that one feels nice, and it probably works well as a primer for makeup.
Yep, it does. But her night moisturizer,
the Misha,
is not that moisturizing either. So snail extract's an interesting ingredient. Yeah. They're usually, so snails are kind of slimy and, you know, so they're full of like hyaluronic acid and these like kind of slippery ingredients. And so it primarily acts as a humectant. So maybe she's feeling that humectant feel, but none of the other ingredients have a ton of moisturizing properties, and I'd want her to get a little more moisture, especially at night, right?
Same.
Yeah, frankly, I think she could find a moisturizer that has a couple of anti-aging actives, but are a little bit just more purely moisturizing, that she could use both morning and night.
In the day, of course, my SPF is the Beat Shield by Crave Beauty. I absolutely love it. I love the texture of it. It's kind of like almost condensed milk-like texture. It's really amazing. So this one right here that I'm showing you is almost empty, so I bought another one.
People love Crave Beauty. So I find this to be a very interesting SPF. I was really confused by it the first time I read the ingredients of it. Are you looking at the ingredients? You have thoughts. I'm just gonna shut up and let you go.
No, I just think if pigment is her primary issue, she doesn't have an FDA regulated SPF. In fact, did you guys notice the bottle didn't say SPF on it?
That's why it was confusing to me. That's what was confusing.
I know a little bit about the Crave story, and I know that it's like certain skincare ingredients that they can't import into the US without FDA approval, but that also means it doesn't have to undergo regular FDA testing. And I have a real problem with this in someone with pigment, not because I don't think it's a great product, but it's gotta be controllable. She's gonna live and die, that's a little extreme, but to a certain extent, her skin's gonna live and die by her SPF. Yeah. Pigment is her number1 issue.
Yep.
That's kind of how I feel about it.
I bet she really likes it because she says it's got that milky feel to it. Yeah. Because she needs that moisturization on her skin.
Yeah,
and it's probably adding to the feel of her moisturizer as well, because I bet you it does feel really nice. It probably feels like a milky essence.
And it's not a physical sunscreen, so she's not getting any kind of ashy changes. Yep. It's probably blending beautifully into her skin, feels lightweight. I understand. And if you like it, I think it's great, but maybe as an adjunct to an additional SPF. Yeah. I just think, you know, one of the things I was saying is, if I were going to a vacation in Bora Bora, I kind of want to know my SPF number. Yeah. And because here in the US it's not labeled, that's my only sort of concern about it.
Yeah.
And then at night for my lip mask, I use the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask.
I like that one. It's not too overly hydrating.
Yeah.
It's, you know, just enough, and it's just a once a day. I like that one.
Yeah.
Some of the fruit extracts make me nervous over time, but if you don't have any issues with it, and sometimes some of that stuff gives you a little mild irritant effect and you get a little lip plumping. So maybe that's a plus. And I think that's probably on purpose, but I think that's a fine product for her.
Yeah, yeah. It's not beeswax. I know you don't like beeswax.
These are kind of special treatments. So the salicylic acid I use as a spot treatment when I have pimples. And then the AHA, BHA is twice a week. If needed. So that's when I use that, I don't use the Triple C Lightning Serum. So that is my skincare routine. I would love your thoughts.
She showed us those last two treatments that she's introducing only when she needs them. So the salicylic acid, it's a 2% solution from The Ordinary. She says she uses that as a spot treatment. You know what she didn't point out is her CosRX patches.
Oh yeah, she was wearing it, but she didn't say
that it's in her routine. So she's using that too, and potentially using the Ordinary as well as a spot treatment. I mean, the CosRX, I like those patches. I've talked about this before. I like the patches.
Me too.
There's a newer one that I like that's called Zitstica that has that like technology of the micro darts, which, you know, we're not sure on like these, like how well it works yet, but I do like the concept of like having a way to
better
penetrate
penetration,
the skin.
yeah. Especially in a spot like that.
Exactly.
I also like stickers because I think it prevents people from picking. Like
Yes.
there's an urge, right, when you see it.
That's a good point.
So I'm big on them. Like I think, but my guess is she's using that at night.
Yeah.
She can't walk out with the stickers during the day, so she uses the
Right.
sal acid spot treatment during the day.
And what do you think of that?
I think it's smart, actually. I mean, I think somewhere in here she could incorporate a retinol. She has very normal skin. She's not dry. And because of concerns about pore size, and it will help with the acne and her pore size, probably more than sal acid, and she'll get anti-aging benefits.
Right.
So somewhere I'd love to see you incorporate a retinol, but for spot treatment on acne to dry a quick little zit out, a little spot acid, sal acid is smart. And then I actually really like your serums. I think it's smart to use an AHA, BHA serum just a few times a week for her type of skin to maintain that glow and exfoliation.
Yeah, I'm always saying that. I always think people should put retinol into their skincare
Yeah.
routines. I think, you know, the common question I get is how young is too young to start with retinol?
Well, we treat 16-year-olds with prescription strength retinol, which binds retinol receptors much tighter and so are actually way stronger for acne with them. So I don't think there is a too young. It's about tolerability, not overstripping, using the right formulation for your skin, but you can always find one. And I also find that you can get yourself tolerant to one. Over time, the skin becomes more tolerant, so you want to build that tolerance, I think.
So maybe not going prescription because she doesn't have intense issues.
No.
But doing like an over-the-counter retinol.
Yeah.
Just some kind of like a nice product that she can buy from somewhere.
Yeah, like a treatment product. And just like maybe even every other day at night. If that's too complex, work your way up to every night. But just once a day type of thing.
That makes sense. And again, specifically for her skin type.
For her skin type, yeah.
Like some people we would maybe be saying like, no, you should be using prescription strength and a lot, you know, like every night. And some people would be like every few days, or, you know, so it varies per person with retinol and retin-A's.
And for her, I think the retinol also will help promote exfoliation, which kind of moves pigment out of the skin a little faster. Because dead pigment gets trapped into the top layers of the skin. You kind of want to make that move faster. So I think that would be a nice ingredient to add. But I think overall she has a nice skincare regimen. There's a couple little things that we would change. But
So do we want to go through it? Let's go through her morning.
we like your cleansers, morning and night, really, right?
Yeah, we like her cleansers morning and night. I don't think she needs to double cleanse in the morning.
No.
Right?
You could probably just use your Crave cleanser in the morning.
Yes,
And then
agreed.
double cleanse at night if you wanted to.
Agreed.
Yeah.
If you are doing the cleansing balm in the morning, I don't think you need it. It's only for makeup, maybe for sunscreen, that kind of stuff. But you don't need it for the morning time. But the Crave Beauty Matcha Hemp Hydrating Cleanser, which a lot of people love.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it yet, but a lot of people love that one. That would be great for the morning still. We're gonna get rid of her Caudalie Vino Pure Toner.
Right.
The one with the salicylic acid.
I think it's too drying for your skin type specifically.
And she uses that at night too, so we can mention it's gonna get kicked from both routines, right?
Yeah. But we like your essence,
Yeah.
or we like the Neogen better.
We don't mind the Caudalie essence.
don't.
But we do like the Neogen better.
For you, because there are specific issues it goes after, and it's a little more hydrating.
Yeah,
for
it's
you.
more of a hydrating, and it's more of a true essence. And then in the morning time, she's using the Kiehl's Daily Revival Concentrate. We just want to get rid of it, right?
Yeah, You don't need the additional facial oils because you already have sort of combo skin.
Yeah.
I don't think you need it.
And we do feel like it's blocking the next ingredients that she's putting on her skin, the next products, right?
Long term, you're gonna get more glow from using a regular vitamin C. I know that immediate glow of the oil sometimes is attractive, but I think long term, you're gonna actually get more true glow with the vitamin C, so we don't wanna block that from working.
And speaking of the vitamin C, so she uses the CosRx Triple C Lightening Liquid, but we'd like for her specifically to bump it up to a stronger fat-soluble vitamin C, right?
Yeah, fat-soluble or an L-ascorbic acid, something that's more active. And it might be slightly a higher price point is my guess, but I think it's worth it for your specific concerns for sure. That's the worth it splurge.
Farsali, the eye cream she's using.
I'm okay with that.
Same. During the day?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she goes into the Belief True Cream Aqua Balm. So we're torn on that one. I'm torn on that one.
That's, if it's in the morning, I think it's probably giving her a nice primer feel and a smoothing texture feel. I'm okay with it in the morning. She could probably invest in a slightly different, more moisturizing, hydrating moisturizer.
As long as she bumps it up at night.
Yes.
We'll get into in a second.
So we're okay with it in the morning if you love the feel.
Yeah. And then she's got that Crave Beauty, the Beet Shield. If hyperpigmentation is your issue and you're not properly protecting your skin and we're not sure, we can't guarantee that you are, I do think that you need to protect your skin a lot.
I don't know, when it comes to the skin and SPF, I wanna know. So if you love it, I would use it in conjunction maybe with a more traditional SPF graded ingredient.
Now that we're looking at that, I actually would get rid of the Belief Aqua Balm for her.
Yeah.
Because I do suspect that the Crave Beet Shield is adding a little bit more moisture to her.
So she's not getting enough moisture.
Yeah, so she's saying she loves that Crave the Beet Shield, but I think she loves it because it's making her moisturizer feel better.
Because there's glycerin and products like that in it. Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, so I think maybe you should switch your moisturizer and get a different SPF too. A little bit stronger SPF that's like a very clear-cut SPF.
Yeah, not necessarily stronger, but one that we know about.
Well, and when I say stronger,
tested.
it's we don't know, right?
Yeah.
Like at least SPF 30.
Yes, SPF 30 or above would be ideal and reapply throughout the day.
So let's hit her nighttime routine. So the Pharmacy Green Clean Cleansing Balm, I love that stuff for her specifically too. And I love that you pointed out that it's got the papaya enzyme. That is great.
Little exfoliating to help with pore size and a little oil control. That's great.
Crave Beauty Matcha Hemp Hydrating Cleanser again, great.
Yep, fan of it.
Gonna kick that Vino Pure Toner. And then same with the Neogen. We like the Neogen better for the nighttime for you too. And then the Kiehl's Midnight Recovery Concentrate. I love jasmine, and if you're anything like any of my Indian family members, I know that you love jasmine too.
I love it in a candle.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want it on my skin.
It's like you don't need it on your face though. It's like it's a hard thing to part with, but I don't think she needs it.
Right? Do the candle.
Do the candle. And then she uses the ordinary alpha-arbutin and she uses the ordinary niacinamide, which we both agree, great for her.
Yeah, really smart choices actually.
Okay, and then Belief Moisturizing Eye Balm, totally fine, right?
Yep, good eye balm at night.
The Misha Super Aqua Snail Cream as her moisturizer. We don't think it's enough moisture for you.
Yeah, I would bump that up. I mean, if anything, she could use this one during the day because some of the humectant effects, but I would just clean it out and get a slightly more hydrating moisturizer.
Yeah.
There's not really a true hydrator in here that I see.
Like essentially the moisturizers she's using, she went from being like, I have dry skin with her products.
Dry patches,
Yeah, and then to suddenly like, these are products for people with oily skin.
Yeah, the truth is you're not using a true moisturizer at all. I don't see one in your regimen. So I think overall her regimen is fantastic, but she needs to upgrade a moisturizer.
Yeah. And not strip so much with salicylic acid.
Yes.
If we want her to put a retinol, does she put the retinol before the moisturizer?
So I think it penetrates better, obviously, before, but I think when you're first starting a retinol, I'm a big believer in using it after your moisturizer when you're first initiating it, because I think you become more tolerant to it and you'll have less trouble with irritation and things like that.
Yeah.
So I think she should get like medium weight sort of nighttime moisturizer, add a little bit of retinol to her skincare regimen, and this would be a really pretty good skincare regimen for her. Upgrade to vitamin C, get rid of the over-drying products, done.
We got you, yeah. So if you guys have any questions, obviously ask them in the comments below. If you want to submit your skincare routine, definitely let us know what skin issues you're dealing with too, because we will have a dermatologist also giving an opinion on what's going on. But I think, you know, I think this is really informative. I feel like everyone will really appreciate this advice that we're giving. I mean, you guys are getting a free consultation with a dermatologist, a really good board certified dermatologist. So
thanks for having me.
We're so glad that you were here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys soon.